This Good Morning Northwest morning sprint is brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning.
All right, just about 6:53. Let's get you ready to take on your Tuesday here in the morning sprint.
Sydney Charles has the latest details from the Middle East as the war between Israel and Hamas intensifies.
But first, let's get to Mark with details on some scattered rain in the forecast today.
We're going to see some of it add up as we look at the First Alert Weather. And that First Alert Weather app, again, still free, still in the App Store. We're expecting by tonight about 400s, those scattered showers, more so into the Palouse. They could see upwards to half an inch. The mountains are going to pull this moisture right out of the air. So we're going to see more into areas of the Selkirks, then pushing into the Rockies of Idaho and Montana. Highs today are going to be in the upper 50s. In fact, our day today looks like more scattered showers this afternoon.
Israel is escalating its war with the Palestinian militant group Hamas. On Saturday, Hamas launched a surprise attack on Israel, but Israel is fighting back, pounding Gaza with deadly airstrikes and displacing thousands of people. Over 1,600 are dead on both sides of this fight, including at least 11 Americans. The Israel Defense Forces says they've taken out more than 1,000 targets across Gaza as it hunts down Hamas. Civilians in Gaza are scrambling to save survivors trapped beneath the rubble and caught in the crossfire. Israel has also stopped food and fuel shipments into Gaza. President Biden is set to give remarks later today about the war, and live coverage from Israel is coming up next on Good Morning America.
Jewish families appear to be under attack online. A hacker is claiming to be selling millions of pieces of data stolen from the family genetics website 23andMe. The data information targeted those with Ashkenazi Jewish ancestry, including usernames, regional locations, birth years, and profile pictures.
New body camera footage has given us more context about why a Spokane County Sheriff's Sergeant was placed on administrative leave last week. The video we're about to show you contains acts of physical violence and may be disturbing to watch. According to his lawyers, their client, 62-year-old Kevin Hinton, was sitting in his car watching a movie and resting after driving for 11 hours. That's when he was approached by Sergeant Clay Hilton, who told him he was not allowed to be in this park in the valley after hours. In the video, you see Hinton agreeing to leave, but then gets stopped by Sergeant Hilton, who asked for his name and ID. When Hinton refused to show his ID, Sergeant Hilton said, quote, "You're going to get hurt." Then Hinton was dragged out of his car, forced on the ground, and hit several times. Now Hinton's lawyers say Sergeant Hilton should face consequences.
All right, after being hit by vandalism Thursday night, Odyssey Youth Movement was hit again and then again. Spray painted hate speech on the center's doors and windows, knocking over displays and burning tire marks in the Rainbow Crosswalk. Last Thursday, paint covered that same Rainbow Crosswalk, as well as the crosswalk downtown. A queer-owned clothing store also had its windows smashed. Despite these continued attacks, Odyssey Youth Movement says it's dedicated to remaining open as a safe space and resource for queer youth, and is asking you to step in if you see something.
There are some political newcomers in the race to serve on the Medical Lake School Board, and they're all from the same church. One of the Medical Lake Community Church congregation members, Dennis Schilling, is running for a position in District 3 against the current director, Laura Parsons. They have very different views on student mental health, discipline within schools, and support of the LGBTQ+ community in schools. The Medical Lake community will have the opportunity to vote this November. We have more details for you on KXLY.com.
You can sign up to share your thoughts on the proposed sales tax increase in Measure 1 at the next Spokane County Commissioner meeting. That's happening today. If approved by voters, sales tax would go up by 0.2% to fund a new jail and other criminal justice projects. 60% of revenue would go to Spokane County. The rest of it would be allocated to individual cities and towns. The meeting today starts at 5 o'clock at the Spokane Public Works Building.
Washington Kaiser Permanente healthcare workers will soon vote on whether to join the next national strike starting November 1st. Kaiser union workers in Washington did not join the largest healthcare walkout last week because, unlike the others, their contracts don't expire until the end of this month. Union and member leaders have been negotiating with Kaiser since August, fighting for a stronger contract protecting both workers and patients. Results of a strike authorization vote will be announced this Friday.
Nearly 2/3 of this year's COVID-19 hospitalizations were for older adults. Adults 65 and up made up 63% of all COVID-19 hospitalizations between January and August, and most of those had underlying health conditions.
And get ready for some lane closures on I-90 between Cheney and Sprague starting today. One lane in each direction will be closed while crews make safety improvements. This includes things like installing poles for new overhead lights at several interchanges. The project expected to last about 2 weeks. We'll check weather one more time next.